morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Basonko here with my co-host Ibrahim Abalde and Mr. Mboj, who has been absent for a very long time, and we missed you.
Ask for him, and he's here.
He appears.
He appears. Mr. Mboj is back on this morning. Mr. Mboj, namon nañ la.
Malen la.
Namon ben namon nuñ la namon.
Man he diga nak
Namon ben namon ni mala name.
Man ko dora ci
This morning namon nañ la.
We missed
Welcome
you, and
back.
then you know what? Fuma cough.
You like.
Like ma Mr. Mboj, am na benn góor sa last time that fi ñëw jógee ja he's from Germany. Dafa fay paasam ñëw ba fii nii, you know, just to see us. And mu ne ma, ana Mr. Mboj. You know nañ Mr. Mboj de, you know, everybody, the whole country missed you.
Mr. Mboj.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Dama demoon jëli more gas.
Wow.
I went to gas up.
I hope you've gazed already.
But how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, and as you can see, all of us are wearing this T-shirt, which, you know, shows that QCell is the official, you know, partner, GSM partner for the AFCON. Mr. Mboj, as a Gambian, you know, how do you feel about this?
Oh, fantastic. We were not really surprised. I mean, this sort of competition belongs to senior boss, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
So, yes, we are all excited, and then there's a huge challenge. You know, how we're going to rise up to the occasion, how are we going to whip up a kind of scorpion fever, as it were, isn't it? That's what we want to do. So, absolutely, it's all fantastic, wonderful, challenging. Now let's rise to the occasion, you know, here in the country, and we also hope that our lads out there in Ivory Coast will also rise to the occasion and surprise one or two people.
Exactly, yeah. You know, people are now trying to get used to that mental, I mean, a lot of thinking that we have. You know, our first game, it's like Gambia is getting that confidence, I mean, to go in the pitch and deliver, you understand? So we are not worried anymore like the way we used to, but we are now very comfortable because we believe we should be able to make it. Why not Gambia?
Let's put it this way. Still largely we are the underdogs, yeah? Granted. But it's just that our growth in recent years, that's it. There's been a recognizable growth, as it were, in our football in recent years. How far would it take us? I really do not know. The last AFCON, we saw how well we did. We surprised everybody, didn't we? So there's a momentum going on. So that is why some of us were optimistic that, oh, Senegal, be careful. You know, can I call it?
I mean, people, fine, granted, Senegal is a big team. Nobody can deny that. Africa defending champions. Nobody can deny that. They tried, and we respect them for that. You understand? But if Senegal can beat France, what about Gambia? Anything can happen.
Let's put it this way. This is a derby. It is a derby, really. It's a Senegambian derby. And you know what can happen with derbies? You know what I mean? There will be so much emotional freight in this. I mean, they will fancy their chances of beating us. But the pressure is on them. Not on our lads.
Because
use that. Chill out. Enjoy yourself.
Like you said, we are underdogs.
Based on their ranking,
so
and
they are there to defend. They are, I mean, imagine.
Absolutely.
If the unexpected happens. In fact, it's expected now.
So you just never know. We have a chance quite clearly. But again, we must be realistic that they're the favorites. Yet, it's a one-off. It's a tournament. It's a derby. I mean,
Mr. Mboj, have you played football, your child?
Of course, I played Norwegian to finals. So.
How was that experience growing up?
Mr. Mboj, Momodou Mboj.
To finals. Do you know that?
Finals?
In Bakau, and Bakau was very difficult then. You had Steve Biko, and we were Linguère.
Imam tankami mo.
Dama kata Mohamed.
They go mu malolo.
Dema dama dem kiri Mohamed ja.
What?
Boy, mune ban la mo. Dama ko kata you meti.
Are you sure?
So we have that video. Let's take a look at the video.
Bahnada.
It's a goal. Well, the Gambia has qualified for the AFCON in Ivory Coast, and QCell is the official partner. Well, we are going to showcase our talent in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, here we come. well, our gallant Scorpions are going to make us proud. So we are here, and it's going to be amazing and wonderful. QCell is the official partner in the AFCON.
And that is a good. People will be very surprised.
Auntie Nene, score na la. Wow. Happen na.
No problem. Gis nga Nene moom taal na waaye Mohamed taalut. Mohamed dama ko jox full pause mu lose.
Man gëmuma baax na daal nañ seet man gëmuma loolu de.
I have a feeling that Mohamed mën na play football.
I have a feeling.
No, why
yow gisuma la as a footballer.
Kii tànkaa mi démba dafa try na pour tobal fi bool bi tëb.
That's a goal again. Mohamed dafa nangu démba mu ne ma ne diga bale Staga. Moom sa daf ko mu ne ma ne Staga de. Waaye boobu
loolu dina leer.
He was being ironic.
Yes, he was being ironic, right?
No, waaye Staga de nuru na la ko de doxal de waaye jeena ma kenn du man.
Hey, baalal ma waaye bool bi rëcc na la.
Xoolal lii
bool bi rëcc na la.
Look at my xoolal nu ma ko joxe dama ko joxe nii top you know.
bool bi rëcc na la de.
Wa
waaw dafa aay nag moom nduru te Mr Mbojo wax na ma ne moom dem na final kii nag xaw ma fan la em time is
ñun time boobu noonu
man sax
ñun ñoo tuddoon growing stars
de Mr Mbojo
what happened?
My dad played for Growing Stars
And then
Bega retire so ñu jël Growing Stars
and then what went wrong?
waaw Growing Stars
so
moom
fala em
man dama dee play time boobu noonu man time boobu team bi su ñoo dem football man maa dee téye seen yére ak daala yi
yow doo daan téye
waaw so man maa dee yóbbu seen yére yi daala yi
I recognize the type.
waaw ba pare
ñu daan téye
toog
waaw ñu daan and they very crucial
man maa dee gënaane gars yi ne ma ne soo ko defoon nii rek mu duga well you cannot dugal it you know.
Absolutely,
you know
anyway,
why
Mr.
football is wonderful game. It's amazing that they unite nit ñi. You know the only thing lu ma métti si football da ngaa gis ki nga xam ne amul lu moo lekk sax mu ne dañ jël Messi 5 million. ñun ñoo jël Messi 5 million. loolu rek moo ma si métti. Why it's the fun. Understand?
Yeah. So
you know?
so generally,
Mr. Boch qualify nañ.
the beautiful game they call it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now the whole sport of just them global scale, nobody ever really imagined it. I mean, the person really who started this revolution, if you like, in the FIFA, the modern in the global avalanche, when I was president of FIFA, brought in all sorts of commercial opportunities into it. So this is it. And it is just so simple to play. That is why all over the world, you just get a round thing, you just form two posts, you can even put stones, it's not expensive, that's why you get, gives opportunities to all sorts of people in Africa, anywhere.
Yeah, because it
South
can be easily
America,
done.
It can be easily done.
Yeah.
And then it's beautiful when you watch it to a certain
and also
level.
we've seen the success stories of children who, like you mentioned, in just communities will just do their, artificial posts and then have a football that they just invented, even if they don't have the actual football. And some of these things are documented. And from there, these individuals become stars at the end of the day.
Well,
I think yesterday something very important was said at the official signing ceremony between the National Coordinating Committee and QCell, which is the fact that, when companies like QCell actually sponsor the team, it's just beyond the money that they're putting in there. It's about these individuals when they're empowered, you know, the remittances, for example. You know, when you support football, it's about these individuals will be sold to international clubs, because each and every one of them in that squad are already playing for a particular team outside. So they get paid, they come back to their country, they build houses, they empower their communities. For example, look at what Sadio Mane is doing in Bombali, you know, and all the players in the Gambia as well. They've changed the lives of their families, you know, from wherever they were to where they are now. So for me, it's just beyond just the game, but the remittances and the opportunities that it can bring to the country itself.
Yeah, that's it. You see, the financial aspects, money, it's an enabler.
Yes.
For one to do other things,
Right.
other cultural things.
Right.
So here we have like two levels here, don't we? Well, one, you have a Gambian company.
Right.
You see, how often have we seen, or do we see in Africa, we have events, but again, you have other companies, foreign companies coming to sponsor them because we can't do it. But it makes a whole lot of difference
Right.
when you have a native, if I can
Exactly.
use that word, you know, local, one of us supporting it. I think it gives an extra moral boost
Yes.
to the whole thing. So I think that's one factor. And then, yes, what you said, when players make it outside, yes, the
They
money
come
they
back.
bring in, they help not just their family, perhaps even neighbors and
Yes,
friends.
and yes.
You have a whole
Sadio Mane
circle,
building
concentric circles.
stadiums and then, you know,
Yes.
hospitals and all of that. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just beyond the game itself. And also the children that they inspire, and these people get inspired and then they want to play as well.
Yes.
So I think football really, it has really evolved. And one thing I also appreciate about football is the fact that it's a win-win situation for everyone. You know, through my research, I came to realize that if you even sell a player, you know, you get to have a commission. If you, you know, the players form a club, it's kind of like a fair game, like a chain of everybody, like it's like getting something out of it. So I think the history that you just mentioned, whoever that person is, designed this so well, and he knew what he was doing, because he knew today in 2024, like it's a lucrative business, and then everybody needs to benefit.
You know, like, Mohammed mentioned it yesterday at the signing. He said, now football, it's a business. You understand? It is in fact said, when you get to a certain level at a tournament, you are paid, you know, an amount of money. So that's why at some point investing in football can be very expensive, but can be very lucrative as well, because at the end of the time, the return, you know, can cover all the previous expenses. You understand? So I think many people are making the Gambia proud, especially, you know, those whose fathers went to other countries and these kids were born there, and they realize, okay, our dads are from this country, so we represent this country. We've seen that in the team. So we are proud, I mean, to be represented as well. You understand? So there are a lot of things that are happening when it comes to the game, Mr. Mboj.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when it comes to the financial aspects, I think that one is sort of self-evident. We've seen it all over. But then don't you think there are more claims made for football? The fact that it serves a certain cultural function, bringing peace, bringing people together. You know, that aspect of football is also is very important to emphasize, isn't it?
So,
Because
Mr.
that's what it
Mboj,
represents.
we're just aware that Mustafa Keidaba, who is a Gambian journalist, is currently in Switzerland, and he's covering the case for the former Interior Minister Sonko on his trial when it comes to torture,
Usman Sonko.
rape. Yes, Usman Sonko, as in not the Usman Sonko that is in Senegal, but the Usman Sonko that, you know, is a former Interior Minister from the Gambia. You know, if we can just remember, you know, around September 2016, Usman Sonko, you know, looked for a Swedish residency, but he couldn't get one, so he went to Switzerland. So when he went to Switzerland, he was arrested in one of the asylum centers, and since then, the trial started. And we all know that in Switzerland, it has that, you know, principle of, you know, where there's that jurisdiction,
universal
jurisdiction that they have, whereby no matter which soil you're from, as long as you're in their territory, they can try you when it comes to crimes against humanity, including torture, rape, and you name it. So Mustafa K. Dabo is currently in Switzerland and covering this trial, and he'll be giving us an update in relation to that. Mustafa, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Being there and, you know, covering happenings when it comes to this particular trial. How is it going so far? I saw other Gambians also attended, you know, and then that is showing some form of solidarity. So just generally, how is the atmosphere, you know, with the Gambians and just the trial, which is the legal proceedings itself?
Well, atmosphere, if it's by weather, it's very cold, and we are in a mountainous area,
Okay.
very beautiful place. So yes, Usman Sonko appeared in court yesterday, and he was formally presented his charge, and the trial was supposed to start. Of course, he was charged before. This is known, crimes against humanity, various offenses, torture, deprivation of liberty, rape, murder, you know, a number of charges. And so yesterday, when the trial came about, when the trial started, there were actually 5 plaintiffs in the court, which are Gambians who have come from Gambia to attend the trial. They are part of the suit. This includes a number of people. Binta Jamba, you may be aware, because Binta Jamba testified before the TRRC that Sonko raped her. Binta Jamba is a widow of Almamo Mane. A number of us know Almamo Mane. All of us probably know Almamo Mane, because Almamo was a very, very close person to Jammeh in the early days of the change of the regime. Of Jawara government, and Almamo fell out with Jammeh at some point, and there were stories that he was executed. And you remember this case came before the TRRC, you know, when Ismaila Jammeh appeared before the commission, being questioned about in relation to this matter, that they executed Almamo in an operation which was led by Usman. You know, Usman was the commander of the state guards, the elite team guarding the Gambian presidency. And so he was brought those 2 charges: murder in the case of Almamo, and torture in the rape in the case of Binta Jamba. So Binta is here. Mahdi Cisse is also here. I mean, Mahdi Cisse, the National Assembly member for Serekunda West. He was tortured in 2006. I mean, remember there was a coup. I believe it must have been the Nuru Cham coup, and Mahdi and others were arrested after the coup for a publication they have made in relation to the then NIA director, that he was allegedly also part of the coup, and it turns out that this was not accurate. They were arrested and brutalized at the NIA. I mean, Musa Sedikan's own was very serious. Mahdi's own too was very serious. I mean, you remember Musa Sedikan actually won a case against the Gambia government in relation to this torture, because he had scars all over his body. I mean, his torture was so visible, and I think Mahdi also was tortured, and he left there with a broken hand or something. But these 2 are part of the trial. I couldn't see Musa, but I saw Mahdi. There is an individual there I couldn't identify. Maybe it's Musa. I've never spoken to him before. And there are a number of cases. Remember, the Solo Sunday murder also has been brought up against Sonko. The interesting thing is that as part of the 2016 April 2016 protest that Solo Mr. Sunday led, there should have been 3 people who should come to testify, including family of Sandeng, Nogoy Njai, and Fatoumata Kamara. Nogoy Njai, unfortunately, no, 4 actually. Fatoumata Jawara, also a National Assembly member. Ngoy Jai unfortunately passed away. She had a number of health issues after the torture. She had an abnormal heart rate, and she was using what they call the pacemaker from Turkey. You remember she went to Turkey for treatment. She had a hip injury, a knee injury, which confined her to a wheelchair at some point, barely 2 years before she died. She was on a wheelchair. So a number of things happened, and and all these guys, I Belenzona, and the trial started, and Sonko was in court, and it was interesting. I mean, a reunion. I mean, if you like, between these two sets of individuals, because I mean, it was emotional also, seeing some at a distance for some. I remember Fatoumata Kamara cried during the break because she was sitting right behind Sonko, barely 3 meters away. And Sonko got up and walked and said Sonko was going to be barely a meter away from her as he passed with the security for a special place where he has his break. And if Fatoumata did not get up from her seat, she would have been just within the right space to shake her. And so she cried and she said she had never thought this would happen. And so it's an emotional thing. But of course also it's not also all cool and dandy. I mean, as for them, the victims, I mean, for Sonko also, his lawyer, fought his innocence very tough. In fact, he made a submission yesterday that the issue of jurisdiction, raising the issue of jurisdiction, because Switzerland, I heard you were talking about the universal jurisdiction issue. So the issue of crimes against humanity under the Swiss law came into being in 2011. And so his lawyer has argued that all the crimes that preceded 2011 could not have been part of this because we are now dealing with the issue of retroactivity. Okay. And he also said that aside also, Swiss law does not recognize torture. So in other words, torture is not in the Swiss law. Right. And so if you don't charge Sonko with crimes against humanity now, you can charge him with torture also under domestic Swiss law. Right. So you see, it's using technicality to make so that this trial just does not proceed. It dies tomorrow. It dies today. That's what the lawyer was. And he also made a submission that Sonko's witnesses, the witnesses who had provided evidence in the course of the investigation, because the investigation here is a very unique one. What they did was, the investigation was more like a trial, because even when they were interviewing witnesses, and so the lawyer of Sonko would be present, so it was almost like a live hearing, investigations. And so he also said that some evidences that were collected in manners that violated the laws, the domestic laws of this country. And so the judgment, the court is supposed to make a ruling on that today. And if it goes on Sonko's way, probably that's going to be bad news for people who have come, and hope that there will be justice. If the rules in the other way around, then that means also we still have 2 weeks of a fight between the two sides. Okay. So I guess that's the summary of what happened.
But Mustafa, Sonko is the highest ranking official under former dictator Yahya Jammeh to stand.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mustafa?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it seems we lost him there.
But I think that's a
Mustafa, can you hear me? Yeah. I think he's just
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, but can you hear me?
Or I think you're struggling.
Yeah, he's struggling. But I think Mustafa just gave us a perfect, analysis and a summary of everything that just happened. And you know what? Before he mentioned the issue of the universal jurisdiction, I kind of felt inside of me that it's something that the lawyer is going to point at the end of the day, you know, the issue of the jurisdiction and when the law came into being in 2011, and then, you know, the violations that, you know, Sonko has done. I mean, it's a valid argument.
Yes, but we'll leave the legalistic stuff to
Yes,
the lawyers.
sure.
But it's relevant here to also realize that this is actually the second case.
Yes, through this, under
brought
this
in
law.
under this
Yes.
Universal jurisdiction.
Yes, yes.
The first one was the Liberian warlord, is it Kosia?
Yes.
You know, who was found guilty and that sort of thing. Of course, defense lawyers will try
always come
all
up.
kinds of strategies, look at all kinds of possible loopholes, you know, to take advantage of, to that sort of thing.
Right.
Fine, that can go on. But for us, the wonderful thing is you've got this principle, as it were, that is really telling everybody around the world that you may run, but you cannot hide
can't hide.
when you commit certain types of crimes. You know what I mean? I mean, in the end, obviously, some people can point out that, oh, but when it comes to the powerful, you can never touch them. Such laws can only touch the weak and that sort of thing. Well, fine, granted, but yet these people have something to answer for, and this is a good principle that around the world, you know,
Well, I think
you are
we-
not going to get away
I
with
think
it. You
this
are
is,
going to be prosecuted.
recently we've, seen a brighter example. That's the case of Bailo in Germany. You know, I think now, you know, the system is set in such a way that even if you are out of the Gambia, they'll apprehend you and judge you accordingly. But I'm a bit worried about what Mustafa said. I mean, if the judgment goes on Sonko's path, this means the case will be dropped out of court. But if at all it's not, then they still have another week or 2 weeks to fight again. But you've heard what he said. All laws that came in before 2011, so those are laws that won't be considered.
I mean, the abuses.
Those abuses won't be considered. But from 2011 coming to today, those are the...
Actually, it's not final. That's just a
yes.
defense.
So
on
this
the
is what
side
the
of
defense
Usman's
lawyer is saying.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So I think it's a critical one there.
You see, the reason why I said that let's put the
Law,
legalistic
yes.
stuff apart, aside,
Yes.
is because of we do
The
not know the
technicalities.
intricacies of actually Swiss law.
Yes.
What does it say about retroactive legislation or applications of law?
Yes.
What does it say about all sorts of
Yeah,
things?
that sense
Because
of
the very
understanding.
people, the prosecutors, really, who wrote the charge, they must have known all of these things. So you realize that they never just charge you, you're not just charged with one offense or two. You realize that you're charged with many, many offenses.
Right.
Murder, torture, fine. Torture may not be in the,
In the
law,
laws,
fine.
yeah.
But there are other charges as well
That are
there.
there.
So the law is, as they frame
let's-
it, might catch you on
let's-
one of them.
let's-
Just
Yeah.
one of them can
And
take your
let's
life.
allow the long
You
arm
may
of
go,
the law.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, you know, and-
for us, it's more the political aspects, as it were,
And
really,
like I mentioned,
the reckoning.
Sonko is the, you know, the highest ranking officer during former President Jammeh's, you know, rule to stand trial.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Sonko is the highest ranked official
Yes.
to be tried under this universal jurisdiction, the highest ranked official in the whole of Europe.
Look at that.
Not just in
Yeah,
Switzerland.
yeah.
It was Trial International. In fact,
Exactly.
a very important NGO in
Yeah.
all of this. It was Trial International that really informed the
Yes.
Swiss authorities.
Yes, I saw that.
Exactly.
I saw that when he was at the asylum center. You know, and just to say, he ended up in an asylum center. Like you said, you can run, but you can't hide.
That's
you know,
it.
so I think this means a lot to our transitional justice process. You know, the fact that such a, you know, high-ranking officer is standing trial when it comes to, you know, torture, abuses, and, you know, just generally abuses and all. I think it means a
You know,
lot.
there
And
were-
also,
yeah.
the fact that with Bailo, with Usman Sonko, at least, you know, victims are beginning to see a little bit of light, you know, when it comes to
A relief,
closure
yeah.
and all. That's how I see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's
And,
not-
and there's Michael Correa in the United States.
Right.
And no doubt in the future we will get more of those.
Yeah.
I
It's a
suppose now
gradual
the
process.
big question would be, What about the one in Equatorial Guinea?
Guinea. That's the big question, right?
You know, how likely is
Yes.
it that we're
And
going to
aside from
try
that, there
him
also
on the-
government white paper, you know, the implementation from the side of government directly. You know, we're yet to see things, but the last time we saw Ida Parson being, you know, appointed as transitional justice advisor. So with that, at least we can say maybe there
is hope.
There's hope that they are going to start, you know, implementing the government white paper.
Well, let's be realistic here. There are just too many deficiencies here when it comes to resources or expertise and all the rest
Even
of it.
preparations
You
is
take
a
Germany or you take Switzerland.
Yeah.
The developed democracies, they've got the laws, they've got the expertise.
Yeah.
They can be more expeditious in these things than we would ever be.
Right.
Let's just be honest with that.
True.
So this will take a longer.
Yeah, but I was just the reason why I
term.
said that is because
Yeah.
at least there wasn't an advisor. Like there are baby steps that we're seeing that did not, you know, ever exist.
Well, I mean, going with this now, where, I mean, certain laws are only moved for certain class of people. You said there are other powerful people. Before we'll say the law will not, I mean, certain laws will not be able to apprehend these people. Maybe it's only for some people, you understand? But now we are saying, like you said, Usman Sonko, it's a very high you know, official when it comes to his status. So he is apprehended and now he's in court. So I think it's changing gradually.
I mean, it's all part of like the growth of international law. I think something happened after the Second World War, you know, with all these UN systems, with all these universalizing concepts, as it were. So international law is coming into its own, really. That's really what's going on here. So you can commit crimes in this country.
Things are changing.
That's it. You run to Switzerland, well, there's a lot to catch you.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Some years back, of course, that wouldn't have existed, but now it does. And in a way, it is a good thing. It is important for people to realize that, oh, the world is becoming smaller. You know, not many hiding places anymore, really.
Even at some point,
very few, at
now,
least very
now
few
when you commit crimes and you run, I mean, people abscond with money. At some point, they're apprehended in other countries. So return to the Gambia. So we've seen all those things. So like you said, it's narrowing down you know, to one system whereby people will be able to unite to carry out certain actions to be able to apprehend certain people.
That's it. And we're also beginning to realize that we're facing threats that it will take
Beyond
a
borders.
cooperation
Yes.
beyond borders.
Yes.
So just for our survival,
Yes.
we have to cooperate.
We need
for
to.
interesting,
It makes it easy.
Exactly.
We need
Everything,
to.
including climate change, especially climate change.
Yeah.
You really, a sense of
Terrorism.
internationalism.
Yeah,
that's
you need to
that's the best
collaborate.
bet.
Yeah, but
Of
let's go back to
defense.
football.
Yes, we remind
Yes,
our
let's go
viewers.
back to football,
There'll be
please.
another signing ceremony today.
Today, yes.
Between the QCell and
And
GRTS.
GRTS.
You understand? As QCell is the official GSM partner of the AFCON.
Absolutely.
So we would be doing all our analysis on GRTS.
Yes, together we'll be collaborating.
We'll be doing proper analysis.
Yes.
We'll be getting people that have you know, that knowledge in football to do the analysis on GRTS. So it will be really amazing.
That's
Yes,
it.
so,
you have
you
the
know.
knowledge and you can communicate it. It's going to be a kind of AFCON extravaganza. You know, all sorts of programs,
Yeah.
exciting stuff
And-
to see us through. the
And you will be
tournament.
able to, you'll be given gifts. We have footballs for you. We have mugs. We have QCell credit for you. We have Q Power for you. So, I mean, get ready. We're coming.
Yeah, so we'll just go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll delve more into that. Don't go anywhere.
waaw mbokk yi ñëw leen seetaan the national team ñooy am seen mujjanteeli tàggat foofu ca Independence Stadium ci biir Bakau stadium bu ees booy yi gëj a play fii lool ku bëgg a gis mbir mi ñëwal ca Independence Stadium ëllëg di talaata juróom-ñeenti fan ci weerum January lu ñoo laajte ci bunta bi mooy VIP juróomi téeméer covered pavilion ñetti téeméer uncovered pavilion ñaari téeméer rek la ñoo laajte waaw mbir mi daal dolli cere yokka ñee ñu ko dooleel ñooy QCell suñu bos. Oh yes, the football fever is on. It's AFCON 2023 and the Scorpions are back at it again. The National Coordinating Committee, of course, the Scorpions return from Saudi, and the team will have an exhibition training at the Independence Stadium on the Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. It has been over 2 years when Gambians got the chance to watch these boys play at home. You have the opportunity. Come around. VIP tickets, $500. Covered pavilion, $300. Other uncovered pavilions, $200. It's the NCC. Fill the stands of a new stadium to watch the boys for the last time before they head off to Côte d'Ivoire.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. And Ibrahima, before we went for the break, you were talking about that collaboration between GRTS and QCell. As QCell is the official GSM partner for the AFCON, GRTS, which is the state broadcaster, has rights for the airing and all.
Exactly.
And they were like, let's do Sunyubus as well as GRTS and head right on to, this partnership with QCell. So we really, really appreciate our state broadcaster, our brother that actually opened the doors for the, the media landscape and where we are now. Well, whatever the case,
No, well, when we talk about GRTS, we don't see GRTS as competitors. We see them as, partners.
Wow.
We work together. You understand?
Complementarity.
So when it comes to the media landscape, like you said, they are our state broadcaster. You understand? So, Hale, the Faham, at least I Kilifam. So GRTS is like partners. You understand? Ham nañ ne suñu ay kilifa ñoo fa nekk. So
mashallah, yaga na ñoo partner ak ñoom. Independence Day, graduation ceremony.
So we have that respect for them.
Yeah, we have that.
So we are not competing in any way. At some point, it's important pour ñu muna that partnership, pour ñu muna def analysis in studio. Because the AFCON, we need to tell Gambians what's happening, how it's happening, and when it's happening. Understand? Didn't go broadcast over Q Radio as well. Those that are watching. So, Homunuta set on GRTS, didn't lock in on Q Radio. On QTV, didn't finekatam, didn't am panel yo hamne, didn't muna discourse affairs pour mugenane. So this time it's QCell.
Yeah.
So ñun ñoko mom.
So Mr. Mbodj, what's your take on that partnership between GRTS and QCell, and obviously QTV tamit then your partner directly with them when it comes to analysis and everything. It's a beautiful one.
It will be seamless.
Yes.
See, that's the whole idea. Isn't it? The relationship between with GRTS, or even the media generally, it seems to me like a relationship of complementarity rather than competition. If you know what I mean, productive. This is an example that we've seen here, and this is football, as we said, and it's the national team. This is one of those opportunities where we put you on a common platform. This is where you never mind what your politics are, never mind all of these, all the differences. This massive reason to bring us together. This pooling power, football with its pooling power, and it's the national team that they generate all sorts of sentiments. So this is a fantastically sort of rare occasion, perhaps, where we can all come on a common platform. Support the seniors. Everybody.
Demba nak yoka chere doli nye show bi, turnout bi. Mangi gis online right now ne it was not that good. Dohud, because obviously understand nañ ne gisulo school day la won, it was prompt. Everything is prompt. Dañ nekk di improvise rek to make sure ne ñu try dajale pour suñ boys yi. So comme que méegu leen ko si yokka cere doole ñe show bi tey gars ñu ngi am seen training bi nga xamante ne mooy final time pour ñu gis suñ boys yi balaa ñoo dem so ku mun a stop by the Independence Stadium nga stop by tickets yi at 300 for covered 200 for uncovered and 500 for VIP so ticket boy fay not just about them gis boys yi la but obviously proceeds yi it's going back to the entire process démb rek si signing ceremony bi ñu ngi doon wax ne ñu ngi doon wax yeneen dëkk yi seen budget ñaata la because football dafa expensive and all of that so tey mun nañoo dem rek si stadium bi pour you know wish them well ak yooyu noonu foofu noonu
xam nga soo gisee
su ko jaree sax company release seen staff si tey jar na ko lii national day la de yéen company si release leen seen staff si
at least ñu dem ñu seetaan match bi soo leen bàyyee gaay ñu dem around 4
exactly
loolu dafa tax you know suñ stadium bi fees
waaw nañ bàyyi tey nañu bàyyi seen staff si ñu dem jar na ko
funds okay so that we can push these boys to another level ba pare boy yi suñ ñëwee ñu gis stadium bi fees ñu gis nit ñi di play dañoo xam ne digga Gambia ñu ngi expect
so te dañ war a really emphasize this okay fine dafa prompt them you know not many people went really yeah granted why now dañ am to realize ne this is where we are we need to help the boys let's get up never mind the promptness, never mind any of that. It's now academic. This is the reality. We need to help the boys. Let's get up and go. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, well, I mean, come no herek, we all have to go out. You know, all out. Maybe come no prompt. Why tay mom?
Granted.
It's game day.
Hey, na companies is really send staff today. Su ko jere waaye Mr Mbodj yaa ngi doon wax ne fi mu nekk nii da nga war a dem African News bi so dafa mel ni da nga bëgg a ñu
my baby
waaw so dinañ am inside bi nga xam ne dinañ ko play su ko defee ñu bàyyi la nga dem lijjanti African News parce que yow soo toogutee African News du dox te yow boo jàppee si African News ba léegi ñoo gis nañ
waaw ñu ma laajte woon Ana Mbodj
mu ngi nii
ñu ma laajte woon ñu ne ma Ana Mbodj
ñëw na
Mbodj mu ngi nii du fi duggee
naka la
bool bi xam na palaasam
du fi duggee
du fi duggee
bool bi xam na palaasam Mr Mbodj doo yëngatu tuuti
Mr Mbodj
doxalal waaye acca kay waaw man na ma ko def mu serious de acca jógal yow Mr Mbodj acca du fi duggee bool bi xam na palaasam du fi duggee let's take a look at this and we'll be right back. Mr Mbodj, thank you so much for joining us.
How excited are you?
First of all, it's an honor to be here representing the Gambia and you know, going to a big tournament like this it's a big honor for me personally and for every player here. So I mean we've had a few days training camp in Saudi Arabia. We are ready. You know, we had our plans and we had a good training camp. So here to collect, the blessing from the Gambian people, and also, you know, to train at the stadium would be a big opportunity for all of us, you know, and also for the supporters to see how prepared we are. I have to leave everything behind my back, coming from Besiktas. You know, I've had a good time, you know, so now I focus on the national team and try to help the country go forward. Yeah.
You're a captain of the national team. There are some youngsters coming into the national team, the likes of Yankuba Minte and others. How are you trying to ensure that you mold them and guide them along into this important tournament in Ivory Coast?
Yeah, the Gambia is a young team. You know, we have few experienced players, so obviously we have to nurture the young ones. You know, that's where everything started. I started like that, so young Kuba and other young players, they are on the right track. They have a long way to go, but you know, with the help of us being the experienced players, we are nurturing them well, and yeah, they are also doing good for their clubs. So now it's time to give something back to the Gambia as well. It's a big opportunity for most of them. So I think, yeah, they are ready for this task. Yeah.
All of you players look excited based on the pictures that we saw from the Saudi training camp. And now there is a lot of talk gearing towards Gambia versus Senegal in our first game on January the 15th in Yamoussoukro. How are you building on, and players within yourself talking about the importance of this game?
First of all, going to a tournament is never an easy thing. We all know that our group is the toughest group. So Senegal is the defending champions. We have big respect for them, but we are not scared of them. And this is the thing. I mean, we are going to the tournament prepared, and we know it's a derby game, but still, there is the defending champions. We give them big respect, but we are not scared of them. So we will do our own thing and try to work as a group and to make the Gambians proud. I know everyone is waiting for this game, but every other game is important. But the first game of the tournament is the most important one. So being against Senegal, we are well prepared. I don't need to say much. We are just prepared for every game. And moreover, the first game of the tournament is the most important game. So we are going all in, and hopefully we will get the results that we wanted, just like the last AFCON.
Finally, you'll be training at the newly renovated stadium tomorrow in front of the Gambian fans. What is your message to the Gambian people?
Yeah, I haven't been in the stadium for a while now. All of us, the players, so would be a big thing to be back home and at the Independence Stadium. And we are expecting to have a full house tomorrow. So hopefully we will see the Gambian fans back at the stadium and doing what they love to do. And it's going to be a big boost for us, the players, because we haven't played home for quite a long time, a very long time, and hopefully, it's going to be a good turnaround, and everyone will be happy, and we will take the blessing with us to the tournament.
Thank you very
You're
much. Yankuba ini Mbara.
Mbara.
Ngajila prepare training camp la in Saudi Arabia.
Huh?
Afu molle ko mi ala training kada nyadi.
Yeah, training was good. We prepared to come back, so because namin training I think is effective, and more than the best training dura fana pour kaka effective, and then game ko na mara ba training pour kaka wanyama fana.
Ye kontano mu kontano sifare so because ni ne kele force account mi ala ko fana bakela.
Yeah, I'm content that ko bakala because nina ma mira ko mbo futala ni stage of African Cup of Nations play, but bimba tembela so ako yang content bakala. I'm very happy for it. Yeah.
Tell me how are you feeling right now as a youngster gearing up to your first AFCON tournament?
Yeah, I'm feeling so good about it because I think this is a dream come true for me because I've been dreaming about this since I was young, so I achieved it now, and then I'm very happy about it though. Yeah.
It's a huge game, Gambia, Senegal. How are you the players taking up to this game?
Yeah, we are not taking it easy because we know it's not an easy opponent, so we're ready for them, and then I know they also are ready for us because it's a big game and it's a derby. It's a neighbor thing, and it's not gonna be easy. Yeah.
Finally, how was the training camp in Saudi Arabia? Because we see that all of you are excited in this training camp.
Yeah, the training camp was effective, and I think it was very, very good for us because we trained together, and then now we know what we can do together. We have to come back as a team and then play the game. Yeah.
How message to your Gambian fans who are cheering and excited to see Yankuba Minteh on the pitch in the African Cup of Nations?
I think I will thank them first because they have been supporting since day one. So I think they just need to continue the support, and then we will try to make them proud, inshallah, by the grace of God. Yeah, thank you.
Coach.
Ollie, wacht even.
Coach, welcome back. I mean, it's good to have you back again in the Gambia. I mean, tell us, how prepared is your team going back to the African Cup for the second time?
First of all, I'm very happy to be back in the Gambia. Missed it really, and even my family, my daughter, my wife, they miss being in the Gambia. We lived here in the past, and we loved living here. But now focusing on the Africa Cup, we had a short but good preparation in Saudi Arabia. I'm very satisfied with the players. They were really sharp and hardworking. Now we're gonna need some time to recover because we were flying very long. But I'm looking forward to arrive in Ivory Coast and to start the final touch of training. But I'm very positive.
Coach, quickly take us through. How was the training camp in Saudi?
Yeah, we were hoping to start a little bit earlier, but we left on Monday the 1st of January from all different destinations to Saudi. On Tuesday morning we arrived there, and at that moment not everyone was there yet, but I have to say we had a very good hotel, we had very good training infrastructure, the weather was good, and I was very satisfied with the players and the staff. It was very good cooperation, everyone was working very hard. It was a moment for me to work on two things, both technically, tactically, to get things ready for the first game against Senegal, but also physically to give some push, because we have players. Some players played on Monday still with their clubs. Other players were playing for a long period, not football anymore. But I'm very satisfied. On the end of the camp, I look back very positive. Yeah, hopefully we can in the coming days maintain that positive mood and be ready to face Senegal.
What assurance do you have for Gambians as far as you go?
In football you have no assurance, but we go there to battle, to fight. We tasted the glory of winning matches at AFCON. We tasted the glory of going to the second round and even quarter-final. And every one of us want to repeat that. We know it will be very difficult because the opponents are very tough, even more tough than before. But we are not afraid of anyone. We're going to take the underdog role because that's normal in this situation when you face these opponents. But we are not afraid of everyone and anyone, and we will battle. And I'm at the moment after this week training camp, I'm very positive. We can do some surprises there.
Well, Gambians and everybody at large has waited for that final list, but finally they got it through CAF. Is it still a tactical move for you?
Yeah, for me, I mean, there were three reasons why we didn't want to give the tactical list before. The first one was that we wanted to wait as long as possible. The second thing was that till Thursday, not the whole team was in camp. There were players who were still at club duties, and you could do still some changes if someone had an injury. So it would be stupid to announce 27 and someone drops out and you have to call another one. And the last thing was, I had an agreement with you all, the media, that I would announce the squad for the media so that the media could ask questions. And for me that was important, to be face to face with the media, to be available for you guys to answer every question you have, why this one is in the selection or that one. So that was the idea about it. And that it's now 2 days earlier out, for me it's not a problem. We knew the squad already very long, and we know also that when we train there are videos, there are cameras, there are pictures. The squad was already out before CAF announced it, and that's not a problem for me. But at least we delayed it a little bit compared to our opponents.
Tom, happy faces from the players in the Saudi training camp. What is fundamental about that, and how were you able to build on that going into this Cup of Nations?
First of all, we have a fantastic group of players. The reason they are selected is because of their mentality and because of their quality. They are eager to represent the Gambia at AFCON. They are eager to work very hard, and it's a dream for everyone to be there. Secondly, we worked very well. The atmosphere was good. We had a good hard work rate. We did some intense sessions. We did tactical sessions, and the tactical sessions went step by step better because we had to teach them a little bit. So it was a positive vibe, plus very good hotel, good food, good training ground, good weather. All the things help to have the smiling faces, and I hope we can keep the smiling faces for a few weeks more.
Coach, you have a lot of players making their first debut to AFCON. What have you installed in them to make sure that they follow the same history that was made in Cameroon? Knowing your first game is against the champions, and a derby game for every Gambian is anticipating.
Yeah, I saw some people saying it's the same group as 2 years ago. No, 33% is new. We have 9 players who will make their debut in AFCON. First of all, I think it's normal. You have always a development. There are some young players looking to Yankuba Mintai and some others who make their first step in AFCON. We have some experienced players. I saw that we have that there are 17 squads who are older than us from the 24 and 7 squads who are younger, so we are 8th youngest squad in AFCON. Our average age is 6.2. That's a good age. And I think we chose some experience because it's needed to have that experience to play stressful games for a crowd, for television cameras, against our neighbors and current champion Senegal. But we need also the young lads to prove themselves and to show their quality. So I think the right mixture can help us, the eagerness to fight. And I think playing Senegal will be the easiest for the coach because I don't need to motivate any Gambian for that battle. But yeah, we are looking forward to that, and it will be a battle, and hopefully we can surprise them.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you.
All right, so that was Tom Senfed and the other members of the team at their arrival at the Banjul International Airport from Saudi Arabia, where they've been training. And, you know, thank you so much to the Saudi government for, you know, this fully funded package due to a partnership between the Saudi government and the Gambia Football Federation. And Ibrahim, just to remind them that the official signing ceremony between GRTS, the state broadcaster, and QCell will take place after this, and it will be broadcast live because they have rights to... Yo man danga nama tubal balal mama des ma li jekali suma waxi farata bi tubal suma farata buma wa togal. So just to remind you that this will be coming, this official signing, and you know this will be welcomed by the public because GRTS is a state broadcaster and having this partnership with QCell Sunyabus as the GSM official GSM partner for the AFCON. We are all excited, and do not forget that the boys will be training at the stadium, and this is your chance to actually see them today before they head to Ivory Coast, and you know, just to show them how proud we are of them and that we are behind them.
Absolutely.
And we are looking forward to when they bring the trophy or move far into this competition. Ibrahim.
Yes. I mean it's important for us to be at the Independence Stadium and support the boys, give them that confidence. Let's build their self-esteem. Let's show them we are ready for them. Let's show them, okay, you are in Ivory Coast, but we are here in the Gambia.
And we are
it's like we are playing with you. So let's go all out to support this boy. So Janaba, I think.
Yeah, so I'm afraid that is all we have time for, but do not go anywhere. Immediately from this, we will get to connect. It will happen at the auditorium, and then there will be a panel here as well, giving you all the analysis and what to expect between that partnership of the state broadcaster GRTS and QCell. So do not forget, head right onto the Independence Stadium right now. It's just 300 for covered, 200 for uncovered, and 500 for VIP. And remember, that money is going to go to the boys to fund their trip. We all know how expensive football is, and you know, we don't want finance to be of an issue for this AFCON. So till we come your way tomorrow with another interesting episode. Bye.